Now, 50 years ago, the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in Dallas shocked the world. That seminal moment and its aftermath set in motion half a century's worth of conspiracy theories. Was Lee Harvey Oswald the only gunman? Was Fidel Castro or the CIA complicit in a violent killing that took place at a time of extremism and serious division in American society? As the anniversary turns the focus back to that era, our culture editor Paul Mason is in Dallas and reports on the continuing legacy of the day that gave it the label City of Hate.
There's Mrs. Kennedy, and the crowd yells, and the President of the United States.
When John F. Kennedy flew into Dallas, for all the smiles, he knew he was entering a tense and fractious place.
The President passes right in front of our cameras now.
President Obama, hear us!
Today, much of American politics is tense and fractious once again.
You don't love America. You don't love the Constitution. You don't love anything but your stupid, smarmy-ass, taking little self.
Presidential car moving out. Head out for downtown Dallas, where thousands should already be on the street right now, waiting for a view of the President and his wife.
When the Kennedy motorcade set off, journalists in the city were certain something was about to break that day.
One of our desk men was monitoring the police radio, and he said something like, "This is it. You know, shots have been fired."
Something has happened in the motorcade group.
3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade.
Mrs. Kennedy jumped up and grabbed Mr. Kennedy. She cried, "Oh no."
We were worried about the right-wing extremists.
Tomorrow, the city of Dallas will officially commemorate the murder of John F. Kennedy. The conspiracy theorists who usually swarm here to the grassy knoll will be turfed off it. But make no mistake, what happened here still haunts America.
Did you kill the president?
No, I've not been.
Lee Harvey Oswald, the man arrested for the assassination, was an ex-Marine, communist sympathizer who'd already tried to defect to Russia.
People have been getting, but I emphatically deny these charges.
We'll never know his full story. He was shot live on American TV 2 days later by local strip club owner Jack Ruby.
Shooting at Dallas Police Station is Oswald.
Darwin Payne was a reporter on the scene.
We had had leaders in Dallas who had urged the president not to come to Dallas. They were fearful that something might happen. There was this atmosphere of right-wing extremism. It's what made the people of Dallas so many fear for the president's arrival and for his, not so much his personal safety, but whether he might be terribly embarrassed.
Just 1 month before Kennedy came to Dallas, right-wing activists attacked former Democrat presidential candidate Adlai Stevenson.
President Kennedy has been assassinated.
After Kennedy's assassination, the American media called Dallas the City of Hate. Today, the city is different. The energy industry never went away. There are booming high-tech and defense industries. So the official commemoration is supposed to be about healing. City of Love is the theme, children's paintings the medium. But for 5 decades, Dallas has been haunted by conspiracy theories that the mafia killed Kennedy, or the Russians, or Cuban exiles, or the CIA. And now, those old conspiracy theories have become mixed up with new ones.
Everybody knows the government killed Kennedy.
This was the libertarian right on the march in Dallas last night. They not only believe Kennedy was killed by the US military, they believe the Obama government is a dictatorship.
Investigate Kennedy. Investigate 9/11.
And they have no hesitation in predicting and advocating a revolt against it.
Speaking of Obama, I mean, he's doing everything now by executive order outside of Congress. It's incredible. We're actually going into tyranny. And if the establishment pushes and starts offensive pogroms against the population, we'll have to defend ourselves. But I'm never for offensive. I'm only for defense. And Homeland Security is gearing up for persecution of libertarians and anyone that shares any classical liberal ideas.
At a national level, politics is fractured. The official wreath President Obama laid yesterday for JFK was an all-Democrat affair. If Congress were not paralysed, if the airwaves were not full of anger over healthcare, Syria and the NSA spying revelations, there'd be no resonance between 1963 and now. But there is, and at the root of it is mistrust.
Arm yourselves and take care of your children.
At this meeting in Dallas of a group called Activists for Truth, they believe very little of what the government tells them. And here's a list of the things they do believe.
We've lost our ability to practice our faith.
If black people was aware of the extermination that's taking place through abortion.
Al-Qaeda, as far as I'm concerned, is still an arm of the CIA.
MI6 started Muslim Brotherhood. Obama has been a member of Muslim Brotherhood. Everybody in the Middle East knew that.
As the list of conspiracies grew, one question had been nagging at me. Who is not doing the telling? Who is hiding the truth and why? Who's pulling the strings?
Order, Rothschild, Bilderberg.
Council on Foreign Relations.
Oh, yeah, the Council on Foreign Relations. Bilderberg Group. So you think there is an actual organized thing that prevents the truth coming out?
They are required under secrecy agreements and non-disclosure agreements not to tell what goes on in Washington. So we don't hear.
Picture of the building, one of the boys
shots
took
fired from this
showing,
building did change history. They marked the start of a rising disbelief in the official version of everything. And to those who covered the events of '63, the parallels with the present are striking.
At the time that Kennedy came, there were the extremist groups. They believed that Kennedy was a traitor, that he was leading us totally down the wrong path towards socialism. You begin to see the same thing now with Barack Obama. And it's a new generation, those people who are the Obama haters, let's say, many of them, or most of them, weren't even here in 1963. I think it indicates that we haven't learned the lessons that we should have learned from 1963.
The atmosphere in Dallas in which that shot was fired was one of hate and violence. But today, you can find that atmosphere in large parts of American public life, which makes the speech JFK was on his way to make here in Dallas on that fateful day all the more poignant. He was going to say, we can't expect everybody to talk sense, but we can hope that fewer people will listen to nonsense.
What kind of gun you got, do you know?
Mossberg.
Mossberg shotgun.
This week, opponents of gun control displayed their weapons publicly, as allowed by law, on the grassy knoll right next to where Kennedy was shot dead. His plea for moderation seems a long time ago. Today, 62% of Americans still believe that when Lee Harvey Oswald fired that shot from the building behind me, he was part of a conspiracy. And that kind of explains the problem they have in pitching tomorrow's commemoration. It'll be low-key, no political speeches, a fly past, a symphony, and that's it. And the city of Dallas kinds of hopes that will be it in terms of closure. But the rest of America is not in low-key mode. There are 20 satellite trucks around me, and there have been wall-to-wall JFK specials on TV. And what they ask is, what America asks is, what is the full story? Many people here just don't think they've ever heard it.
Paul in Dallas with the full story, thank you.